All right, can you talk to us a little bit about choosing godparents and the concept of godparents and the religion? Like how to go about it, what suggestions can you give? Point us in the right direction with that.
All right. Well, um, when you want to get involved and get into the tradition of Ifa, it's always important to have some type of elder guide you and direct you. So, because it can be so intricate and there's so many different energies that you can work with. And having, elders and someone who's learned and been in the experience guide you, teach you. And a big thing about our tradition is having Ashe passed down to you, having through initiations, through birthing of the Orishas. Something comes from something. Life has to come from life. When those warriors are born, they come from their godparents, warriors. And initiations are passed down to you. Those Orishas are born from another Orisha, and life and Ashe is important. So you can't come in and initiate yourself. So at some point in time, you're going to need to have elders and choose a godparent. Even the term godparent comes from the Catholic influence, as they're getting baptized into having godparents. But for understanding terms, the person that would be the one to initiate to you. You definitely, again, the age of communication and networking. Having a social media presence doesn't mean somebody isn't a good elder.
Okay. You're right.
Just because someone had, first of all, in my opinion, most of the elders nowadays, at least, times are going to change, and what yesterday is going to be today's norm. But at the end of the day, now, the way it is right now, the elders are not on social media. A lot of them are old school. Some are, but a lot aren't. And just because someone has a large following doesn't mean that they are necessarily the one to search for you. There are people on here, on social media, that have 70s. I saw one person had 77K followers, 77,000 followers. Another person had almost 1 million, 1.2, and they didn't even have any initiations, but were speaking on the religion. They were all jewelry, the necklace, and up and doing tarot readings, and speaking and doing lives and commenting on the religion. And following doesn't mean anything. So you gotta ask the community. They should have some type of presence that you can research, maybe a website, maybe Google, maybe Yelp. And if not, like a lot of elders, again, that are hard to find, then you'd have to research others in the community and take your time and not rushing. Get to know somebody. Get read by them. Talk to the elders. Find out how long they've been in it. Someone's like, well, I've been initiated for the last 5 years or 8 years, and which is fine. But a lot of them are. Again, time doesn't mean you're experienced in knowledge. Your time as a of your initiation, your years, doesn't equate to knowledge. I've had Babalawus in my own community. 22 years Ifa, and didn't know how to do Mayuba, couldn't do, were there in some ceremonies and helping in the way they could, but didn't know how to do basic things. And some other Babalawus, we asked them, can you go outside and do some ceremonies out there and throw OB and do this and that, and they couldn't. They were 10 years into the religion. So that doesn't always equate. On the flip side, you can have someone 5 years and very learned and very knowledgeable, and good heart and still have elders and wanting to learn. It's your trust in it's your trust in your own discernment and taking your time and talking to the other communities and getting to know the person. It's not about no one knows everything. If you don't want to go with an elder you feel knows everything. He may not know. He or she may not know everything. But are they open to teaching you what they do know?
Right.
Are they open to learning and finding out what they don't know?
Right.
You know, I say all the time, you know what I mean? I've been learning, but I don't know everything. If you ask me a question that I don't know, I'll be like, I don't know. You know what? That's a good question. Let me find out.
Right.
You know, let me go ask some elders that I've talked to and do that. That's the process. You want to do that. And then take your time, get to know someone. In my house, if someone wants to come and just right away be a part of my temple or receive some things, I actually dissuade them away. Take your time. Let's get a reading. If you want me to be your godparent, a lot of them like, I want to get initiated and I want to do this. I'm like, well, let's take our time.
Yeah.
Let's get to know each other.
Yeah.
I need to know if you're going to work for me, and you need to know if I'm going to work for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the last thing I want, again, being someone experienced in this tradition, is someone's going to rush into things and it seem all great in the beginning, and then certain things happen, certain understandings, their ego gets involved, they get hurt, their feelings, and blah, 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 woo, 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 and then they leave, and they go this, and they're not ready for it, they leave their religion.
Right.
You know, those are things I don't need.
Right.
Because I'm in a place where my temple is my family.
Yes.
I don't have friends. I have only family. And if you're going to come in my family, that energy has to be of good character and humbleness and wanting to learn.
Yes.
And it takes a process of getting to know each other, building a relationship first, okay? Getting divination on some things, okay? So at the end of the day, you have to be aware of red flags. First of all, the things you want to look for in a godparent.
Okay, yes.
Let's start with that.
Yes.
Someone that has what we call Iwa Pele, Iwa Rere, Ira Suru, Ira Sototo, Ira Sotito, Ira Ododo. A lot of different Iwas. Characters. Humble, gentle, patient, honest.
Yes.
Okay? And you look for that in someone. You feel like being honest with you, not feeling like someone never is wrong. Someone they always know everything. Is afraid to be wrong, afraid to say they don't know, you know, and you start wondering. And then, you know, when you're asking questions, you know what I mean, and they answer, you know, and they give you knowledge, and seems like they're really affable and compatible with you. You know, those are good things, and taking you in and showing sincere love for you, or at least have some sincerity for your welfare, for the betterment of you.
Yes.
And if it looks like that is the ultimate goal, not to make money and not for titles and not rushing you,
right,
and not making you feel bad, not abrasive, you know, those very compatible communication.
Yeah.
Those are things you look for. Red flags, what you don't look for. Nobody, and I'll say this, I'm going to leave it always a percentage because this isn't, you know.
Right.
You know, 99% of the time, you don't need to get initiated to solve your problems. Red flags are when someone's telling you need to get initiated.
Yeah.
Don't let them point to Odu. Don't let them point to the letras, the Dilogun. Yeah. Don't let them point to this sign. So every sign, every sign says you're going to win the lottery, and every sign says you need to receive the IFA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, certain signs may speak strongly of it.
Yeah.
You know, but never telling somebody this sign says you have to, or you need to get crowned, especially for problems.
Right.
Anybody telling you in general, you just go in there, you don't have a problem. Oh, this sign says you should receive your warriors, you receive your Ikofa, you need to crown Ocha. That is a red flag. Especially when it comes to your problems. You should not have to receive warriors, or you should not have to receive Ilekes, or you should not have to receive your Ikofa or Hendebifa. You should not have to receive crowning, initiations, let alone, especially initiations, folk initiate crowning, Yoko Ocha or Achifa Babalawa. No. No. Any problem as my godfather would say, should be solved with ebo,
Mm.
remedies.
Okay.
There's always a solution for that. They come in there for problems with health problems. You don't tell them they need to make santo. You need to get crown ocha to save your life. You know what I mean? Now, if somebody's terminal and these people are already considering it, maybe that is the ultimate solution. You know what I'm saying? But that is a 1% out of a 99%. Every single problem, I don't care how sick you are, I don't care what you're going through, I don't care about people Crohn's disease, lupus, heart problems, even somebody with terminal diseases. The crowning wasn't the solution.
Yeah.
Ebo was the solution.
Mm-hmm.
I've solved a lot of different problems with Ebo and remedies. They telling you got to receive something that is incorrect. There are people I come across all the time that have received a bunch of things. They say, I don't know, me and my kids, I went there for problems with my relationship and my marriage, and they told us that I had to receive some ceremony, a hand of Ifa, and all my kids had to receive it, or something was gonna happen to them. And we got all these things. We got this rock,
Right.
we got this seeds. I don't know what to do with them, and they told me I had to receive it.
Yeah.
And then I stopped paying them money, so now they're working with my husband, and we're going to divorce. And now they're working and joining his side because we don't want to keep spending money.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
A lot of times, I can go on and on. A lady spent $9,000, and after talking with her, she says, "Yeah, I was problems with the situation, and they made me come to a house with all these other people when I didn't know what I was doing, and they told me to come back on the third day, and they did this, and I was desperate to solve my problem, and I have these things in my house. Can you tell me what they are?" That's a problem. That's a problem. It's a very big problem. I don't care if you're in the religion. You should not be. You're reading someone. If I'm reading someone, they could have been with me for 10 years. 5 years, and it's not gonna. I tell them it's not gonna come up with me that you gotta receive Orisha or that you have to.
Right.
Now it'll speak heavily about some things. There are old dudes that can come up, right? Abunda Masa, Urabara, a lot of signs that can be interpreted as the crownings or receiving this and that.
Yeah.
Warriors and Ikufa or Dimei or Dike. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you can speak on it. At the best I'll do is I know somebody wants to.
Yes.
And they've been talking about it, and the sign will come up and like, are you considering that this may be the time to do it?
Yes.
But by no means do I tell someone they have to do it. A lot of times they ask, when am I ready? I'll be like, when you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I should receive warriors. I'm like, hey, it'll come up when it needs to come up.
Yeah.
Again, when it comes to people and elders in religion, don't follow people that you feel can speak the language of Ifa. They don't speak Spanish. If they don't speak Yoruban, they gotta speak this, and don't speak someone that speaks the language of Ifa. Follow someone that speaks the message instead of Ifa.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Don't follow titles.
Yeah.
Authors, where a lot of them are just translators. Don't follow authors, written on books and everything else. Titles, chiefs, arabas, and all of this, and babalawo of this, and Odu, Olorisha. Don't follow titles. Follow character. Doesn't matter what title. I don't care if they're a doctor. I don't care if they're if they have an author of many books. It doesn't matter. They can be a legit priest and educated and still be an asshole when they're coming to work with you and with bad intentions.
Yeah, for sure.
For money and for greed and for ego and abrasiveness. Don't follow titles. Follow character. Don't follow someone who speaks the language. Follow someone who speaks the message. Don't follow titles. Follow character. And don't follow location. Oh, someone, they're in Nigeria. They're in Cuba. That must be good. Must be the right way. Or they're in Miami. They're in Florida.
Right, yeah.
They're down the block from me. That's not, you don't follow location. You follow reputation. You follow someone who has a good reputation amongst the community, amongst people you've talked to, and amongst it, who's built up a reputation for doing things right, reading people, helping, providing solutions, and someone says, this person helped me, this person was honest with me.
Yes.
Don't follow someone who speaks the language. Follow someone who speaks the message. Don't follow someone who has titles. Follow someone who has character. Don't follow someone by the location. You follow by the reputation.